Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am the smartest man in the world. I was having some technical difficulties with the audio issues because the game was super loud when I tried to record my voice over it. And with that being stated, excuse me if my voice doesn't sound too well or the audio quality doesn't sound too well. I'm recording screen recording straight from my phone through a out of date app, not an out of date app, but it's not through the iPhone app. I don't have an iPhone 8, so I'm not able to screen record through the actual settings. So who needs an iPhone 8 just screen record? I downloaded the app and it works just as well. But if that's why the audio quality doesn't sound that good, it's because I'm recording through my phone. But I just had to figure out that so the game doesn't sound so loud, I have to turn down the actual music in game and not just the actual volume here on my phone. But it is your boy Uncle Daddy Luke here, and as I promised, I am doing the 5 tips and tricks for Pokemon Masters. I think a lot of people are having a rocky start with this game, and it's not too bad, but yeah, especially when you finish the main story in the solo, it does get kind of hard, right? With the training events, with the EX challenges, and especially even still the main story co-op chapter 18 and 17 still proved to be a bit difficult. So this is mid-level, low-tier quality, I guess if you can say that, of advice that I have for players that are kind of not really able to connecting with the game, and I think these might be some of the reasons why. So with that, let's get started with number 1. And so with my first tips and tricks that you can use that will probably help your gameplay out a lot is familiarize yourself with your Pokemon. Of course, it sounds super cliche, but what I tend to notice with players is that, you know, obviously this game is predicated on getting higher level Pokemon to help you out. Obviously, you can't beat everything with just the story mode characters that they give you, especially online. And I see players, they fall in love with Olivia, as they should. She's a really good unit. And Brendan. But, you know, they're just not the only 2 units in the game. There are plenty of other units out there that will be able to help you in a bind. And especially if you don't have an Olivia or a Brendan or maybe a Blue, who I think is number 2, Olivia number 1. You can try and find nuances to be able to help you out. I think people super sleep on Cheryl. She's a super great support. I think she's number 4 if you watch my tier list for the support pools, the support sync pairs. And, you know, just some other hidden gems that you can find and just familiarize yourself with all of your sync pairs to where you know what you're getting yourself into when you go into a battle with somebody and what could possibly help you with that. Brock may seem kind of useless right now, but I'm sure down the line he will be helpful somewhere. So especially too, what I also want to note with what I said in my tier list for the support characters, Meryl is definitely A+ tier to me because you literally cannot beat this training event, EX Erica, without Meryl, at least 2. So for sure with that, just don't fall in love with the 4 stars and the 5 stars, especially the 5 stars. You know, go through and make sure and check all the move list of all the sync pairs you have. Like I said in my tier list, some aren't going to be as strong as others, like Marlin, he's kind of hard to use. And actually, I think H-Roll is probably the worst sync pair in the game, but they'll all have their uses soon enough. So going on to number 2, it kind of goes hand in hand with number 1 a little bit, but I wanted to separate it, is to see what Pokemon work well with who. And with me saying that, I play with people online and they'll pull out maybe hypothetical, they'll have Rosa starting, and then the first thing they'll do is they'll X special attack all with me running Olivia point and somebody else running Lucario point as well. Boom. But as you'll see, as it'll tell you right here in the category of your move, you know, Vacuum Wave was kind of useless, right? Yeah, no additional fate. Close Combat is a physical move. So if you're running Olivia and a Lucario next to you, why would you want to use X Special Attack All when you're the only sync pair that uses that has a special attack to use? So just pay attention to your teammates and see what Pokemon work well with another. I kind of gave a clue to what one of my official tips and tricks is, but see who works with who. If you have extra special defense X special attack all. That works really well with Brendan because he doesn't have to use no turning back to start out soon with and can just use dire hit. So just see who works well with who, see who has physical attacks, see who has special attacks. Like I said, this will be an indicator if it's a special attack or a physical attack with the category sign that it shows. So just make sure you're cautious of that too, which is kind of the same with familiarize yourself with your Pokemon. So this will be one of the two live examples that I want to do, but with kind of the first two in mind, I think I have something that could help you get your most coveted gym leader notes that you need to be able to. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's try that again. That's kind of a thing about this game too that I want to do a video about as well, is that it has a bit of issues, but it is a very new game. So let's be fair with that. But to get your most coveted gym leader nodes, they come by hard, and to get your sync pairs up to the levels that you want them to be at, you have to be able to get gym leader nodes. So with taking 1 and 2 in mind, I think I have the best team to be able to beat the super courses at the bottom. So this is the third tip, and it is my team that I run that I call Easy Clap. 2 of these units are definitely free, so if you haven't beaten the story mode, the main story mode, and gotten Charian yet, you'll probably definitely need them. Or you can sub them in for somebody else. I'll tell you how the team works as I'm playing with them. And then Luna is a sync pair that you get through pulls, but she's a 3-star rarity. I think I got her in my first 10 I pulled, so she's kind of easy to come by. And then whatever, with that, I guess you do want to have these 2 at least leveled up to the maxes of their levels. But let me show you how I run my team. I'm so adept with them so well that I'm able to go full speed, but I will definitely slow it down and turn it off so I can show you guys how it works. So first you'll use Skate On Through, then you'll buff yourself with Of One Mind, then you'll go back to Of One Mind, then you'll Crunch. So what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to buff Lucario as much as I can so I can just, 2-shot or 1-shot with him when he has all of his buffs that he has. And I'm just crunching with Charian or Stoutland just so I'm doing something with the move gauge and I'm getting off a little bit of damage while I try to get Lucario to his max damage potential. And with that, like I said in my tier list of the support characters, Luna can just buff Lucario all the way to the max, all 6 strength, while he also gets off his crit hit. It didn't hit right there, but that's fine. And then you'll just spam close combat. It's kind of elementary the way I do it like this. I don't know how many people have figured out what else super works. I think you can switch Lucario, Corina with Olivia, probably, maybe even Brendan. But that's just the beauty of Luna, is that she can just buff either person because Of One Mind buffs up their special attack and regular attack too. And if you get kind of wary and don't want to wait for the third one to pop up, you can just use Apply Yourself to go ahead and get your 3. But by the time you wait for it and the move comes out, you'll already be ready for your last close combat. So that's just the best way for me to be able to beat these super courses to get my gym leader notes. So as you work out the exact way that I did it, you'll do Skate On Through first, then you'll do Of One Mind, Skate On Through, Of One Mind, then you'll do Crunch. Here goes our gym leader note. Then you'll do Dire Hit, then you'll do X Special Defense, then you'll do Crunch again, then you'll do Dire Hit. You'll wait to use Lucario's sync move because also too, I think that's the perfect way because the sync move will be ready by then. And then you'll also be able to do Lucario's sync move. He'll go to make Lucario and then just spam close combat. And I think that is the best way to do it. Exactly. And 2, Charian is really great, even though you could probably sub him with Rosa is that outrun 4, man. It helps a lot because they're going to target him because he's the highest level or the highest strength, I guess, has the highest base stats all put together. So with that outrun 4, if they paralyze him, poison him, burn him, or anything, you don't have to attack with him anymore after you get Mega Lucario. You can just have him sit there, be a tank, and then he'll boost your move gauge a bit, and then it's like that. So that is my third tip for that, to help you get your gym leader notes to get those higher level on all your Pokemon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, for the second to last tips and trick, it is take what the game gives you. Yes, this game has a lot of problems right now. Yes, I have not beat this EX challenge yet, but if you look at this little section right here, it does say area details. You'll click on that, and wow, boss hints. It'll give you, watch out for these. This is what the enemy will usually try to do to you. Physical damage reduction, special reduction, and then unity disruption, so you won't be able to get off your unity attack. And this is probably what you will focus on, doing this to these sync pairs. Critical hit rate up, you'll want to crit hit, you'll want to use physical moves against Goodra. But the game does give you on all of these, so if you want to check on all of them, especially 2 with, I haven't started Barry yet, I want to try them, but with that too, everything, you know, you want to start critting these people. Watch out for crit hits against them. Special defense up, defense up. So you want to be able to run a team that can bypass that. And with that, wow, look how everything ties in together. Familiarize yourself with your Pokemon. There is a specific, and I think he is the only sync pair that's able to do this, and it is Brawly. And what is Brick Break say? Removes physical and special damage reducing effects from the opponent's field of play. So he'll definitely be one of the Pokemon that you want to bring with you. And who else would you want to bring? Crit rate up, Olivia, and Brendan for sure. I think that would be a great 2 to bring. I forgot what the type advantage was, but with that, take what the game gives you. It's something that's super hard. Think about it and think about what the Pokemon you can use. And with the first 2 steps I gave out there, it all ties into each other. And so with the last tips and trick, if you can guess it, it is pay attention to your surroundings. And with that, man, if you're running with people that can heal you, that can boost up your crit rate for you, you don't have to boost your own crit rate. You don't have to, especially too with Olivia, man, people just get so stuck in their ways. People forget that you can use these moves 2 times usually, is because right in the main story mode you would do more than 1 battle before you would reset and be able to start over, and you get the moveset refreshed. So people forget that you don't have to Olivia crit rate yourself twice, because it's going to put you at 4 and you're only going to use 1. So with that, all I like to do is boom, right here, Dire hit all. I'm paying attention to him, helping him get this off. And him too, he can benefit from the crit rate again, but no, I don't need to crit rate again. All I would need to do is hard as diamonds once. That is the move especially that you do not have to use more than twice. The Dire hit, they just fixed it, because I noticed that too. I was like, what the heck, why isn't it not it said sharply, why isn't it buffing it by 2? But I remember it now, and they fixed it, and that was a bug, which is kind of funny. So this was going to be one of my tips too, but I forgot, so let's just call it a pointer. After your unity attack, you can see that all the moves reset. The enemy was supposed to attack before I was going to be able to, but after our unity attack, it resets, so I was able to get off that stone edge before the circus was able to use infestation to possibly kill off one of us. So keep that in mind too. I don't know if a lot of people know this or if this is a bug right now, but definitely use it to your advantage. And also remember too, after their sync move, the enemy, all your stats will be reduced back to 0, so keep that in mind too as well. Maybe it'll make more sense if I put it this way and just not in a team group battle, because I don't want to do something a little bit harder because I don't want to lose on camera. But I'm running Brendan, somebody else starts Rosa, and somebody else starts Phoebe. Me as Brendan, I can chill and wait and watch their response. I don't have to mash Dire Hit Plus. I don't have to mash whatever his move is called. No Turning Back to buff up my special attack and regular attack. What can Rosa do for me? Rosa can either time to energize to where she can do my No Turning Back for me, or what else can Rosa do? Rosa can buff my special attack to where I don't have to use my No Turning Back that first turn. And what can Phoebe do for me? Phoebe can Dire Hit Plus all for me, and I don't have to Dire Hit Plus myself. So what you want to do is, I'm not saying to wait 15 seconds before you make a move to decide to do something, but I'm just saying pay attention to everybody that you're playing with and how they're running. And if y'all are all running Olivia, that's fine. But with Olivia too, right, you don't need to Hardest Diamond twice in a row. Why? Because she crits herself up 2 and her accuracy goes up 2. Crit can only go up to 3. And with all the other base stats, they can only go up to 6. Okay, something else I forgot to bring up. I should have just had this as a top 10 instead of top 5, but whatever, we're here now. So, Olivia, I still stand by. You don't need the Hardest Diamonds twice, once, back to back if you're running online. But also, too, even, let's stop picking on Olivia. Let's say Dire Hit Plus, like what Brendan has, like what Olivia has, like whatever other unit that sharply raises their passive ability as well. You don't need to use it twice, because just in case you need to switch out and you want to keep that unit alive, when you bring that unit back in, if you already buffed it that once, the stats will not stick. It will start over. You'll go back to 0. So I guess that's either a blessing and a curse at the same time too. If your stuff is negative, you can just switch them out and then bring them back in and they'll go back to regular. And then also too, like I just said earlier, I wanted to emphasize on it more. After a sync move that the enemy uses, if you happen to live it, all your stats get reset as well. So then you won't be able to buff Olivia again to be able to nuke better. So you just want to be able to use it once and then go after that according to plan how you want to play it. And let's say the Rosa first turn does time to energize. Okay, great. I'll press No Turning Back. If that Rosa is going to press X special attack all next, I'm just going, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? Because you're wasting that, because obviously you're not the nuke. I'm going to nuke. So just buff me, and obviously it's going to go down after I use it one time, right? That's part of Brendan's off. So wait until he uses his Leaf Storm before you do extra special attack all. That's just one scenario, of course. That's kind of easy to put, but like I said, it's kind of harder to do it if you don't have really 3 units that go together as well as these 3 do, especially to buff Brendan, the nuke, and then have 2 tanks next to him that are supports, which is obviously what 2 supports and 1 strike character. But for sure, look at your teammates, know the synergy that y'all have really quickly. I know it's kind of hard, but that's what all these tips and tricks are. They're intertwined and they intertwinkle. Is that a real word? With each other to where you will be a better Pokemon player, Pokemon master yourself. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man, I feel like this was one of my better videos. I really felt like I articulated myself kind of well. Yeah, I get kind of tongue-tied every now and again, but I think that's just the way I talk, to be honest. So, if you stuck with me through the whole video, here goes an extra little hint for you. If you get enough gems and you're able to pull sync pairs, which obviously I don't right now because I kind of did what I want to tell y'all not to do. I would do 10 sync pairs at a time. No, you definitely don't want to do that, because both times I picked sync pair, I should honestly know better because I played MOBAs before and other games that you have to do pulls in, and it is always and forever will be, no matter what they tell you, it could either be superstition or not, but I'm gonna for sure be going with single pulls at a time. Of course it'll take longer, but both times I've pulled singly. I think I pulled like 5 times, and out of the 2 I got a 5-star. I had got Phoebe first and then I got Olivia, and I promise you, they say the rates are 2% for Olivia, 1 extra percent. I pulled 7 times. I had 140% chance to get 1 Olivia. I did not get 1 Olivia, and guess what? I was like, I'm not even gonna worry about Olivia anymore. I'm just gonna do 2 more pulls from Blue to try to get him from the single sync pair scout. And guess what? I got Olivia from Blue's pool. So don't throw off all your gems at once. It may take a little bit longer, but it will pay off for you in the long run. I think I am at 56 out of 66. 67 now. I have 11 more to go. Let me know how you guys are at, if you like my tips and tricks, and get down in the comment section and voice your opinion on what else you can do to become a better Pokemon Masters player. But I'm Lucas Invader, Lucas Hunter, and I'm out. Thank you guys.